And don't point that beard at me, it might go off.
Okay, hi guys and girls, and everyone else. I'm going to see Dune tonight in a couple of hours. Actually, I have to get some sleep because I get up early in the morning, 4 o'clock. And this showing will be at 7:30 and end at 10, and I have to get up at 4. So I will sleep in a little while. But before I sleep, I wanted to do this pre-action to Dune. First of all, I'm really looking forward to this. Really. Really. You know, I'm a big fan, as I mentioned before. Have the book right here. Hey, been reading the appendixes. Oh, let's see. Here up to the movie. And I have some questions regarding some of the interviews that, among others, the screenwriters and Rebecca Ferguson have been saying. So let's hit on the first topic, which is, of course, the gender swap. Will it work in the movie? And will it hurt Frank's original idea? Frank's original idea for the whole book was that he wrote some articles about sand dunes in Oregon. And so we know that this sand dunes and the ecological angle of the story is very important to him. And in the book, many people think that Paul is the white savior selling the dreams to the Fremens. He is not. It is Liet Kynes' father, Paddock Kynes, who get appointed by the emperor as ecologist of Dune because they want to know more about Dune for some fucking reason. They've been there like 10,000 years and they don't know anything about how the spice gets made. So the emperor sends this man to the planet to find out. And this man starts and he sees that there is hidden water. There is water in the ecosystem there, but nowhere to be seen, but he can see the signs. So he get intrigued. He get a dream that it would be possible to change the harsh condition on Dune into more livable conditions for the Fremens, and for himself, just as an experiment. And one day, while he's driving along the shield wall, which is a range of mountains that's around the area where the main cities are, because the sandworms can't go in there then. And he's driving along the base of the shield wall, and he sees 3 young Fremen fighting with some Harkonnens. And he helps the young Fremen, and they take him to the siege, which is their hidden city. And because he helped them, they basically don't harm him. And he goes around preaching his dream. And the elders of the Fremen let him do this for a week or 2 or something. And then they decide, okay, he saw our secret city, so he has to die. They are pretty rough people, the Fremens. So he has to die. And they send a killer to kill him. And the killer, when he tries to kill him, Paddock Kynes looks at him and says, remove yourself. And then he throws himself on a knife, the killer. And this is taken by the Fremens as a sign of Paddock being a holy guy. So they adopt his dream. They accept his dream of a better Arrakis, not realizing that this better Arrakis will destroy their culture, will destroy the worms. So he's actually selling them their doom. And this is what Frank wants you to think about. He wants you to think about don't just buy the dreams of some fanatic guy, even though it sounds good. And he integrates himself into the Fremen society and he marries a Fremen woman and they get Liet Kynes. In the book, he's a man. In the movie, they changed him to a black woman, and I don't see a problem with the race change. But what I think is a little bit of a problem is Frank wanted to issue a warning against idealists who try to save you, that their dreams can actually destroy you. And I think that he meant that mostly folks from the Western world, white men, did this. So that's why Kynes is a man. And the second thing is, the society that Dune exists in is a patriarchal, feudal society. So the emperor would never appoint a woman as ecologics and his representative on the planet, on the most important planet in the universe. So this is the problem. And I don't think that it has to matter for the movie, because there are certain reasons why you could change this. Chani in the movie is the child of Kynes, and she is the niece of Stilgar, the Fremen leader of Siege Depart. And maybe they just decided that it would be easier if Stilgar married Kynes and then Chani was the daughter of Stilgar. I think that's the reason why. And I can see that. So for me, that is okay. But what strikes me as odd is the screenwriter, Jan something, the last one who looked over the script, came out and said this fucking stupid thing that everybody is saying today. Oh, because he wrote it in the 60s and we have progressed so much since, so we have, our version is much better because we are so enlightened people. This guy wrote a book that is supposed to take place 20 fucking thousand years in the future in a society that isn't a good society. It's a bad society. So this reasoning is futile. It's boulder bash. It's stupid. And what kind of egomania do you have to be to mean that to think that you're so enlightened, more enlightened than people was 50 years ago? It's stupid. All these woke arguments are stupid. Let's do things because they seem right. No, think about things, investigate, and then find a solution and do it right. Don't just jump to something because you thought, and you think you're so much better than everybody else, and then nobody has thought this before. Everybody has thought this before. And then they thought about it, and then they realized that it's fucked up. That's why. So I think this comment really pisses me off. You can hear that probably. But it may not destroy the movie, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie. I love Dune, and I won't pass judgment on the movie before I've seen it, and I'm going to see it tonight. That was the Liet Kynes gender swap. Don't let anyone tell you that it doesn't mean anything. It does mean a thing, but it's not certain that it makes the movie bad. I'm not saying that. I actually think it would be pretty good. So, and think about this too. Herbert had an IQ count of 190, fucking genius level. So how much of an egomania do you have to be to think automatically that you know better? Come on, man. Then there's the second woke comment, and I think that was just a mistake, and because the person didn't know the book. But about Jessica. Ferguson said that they have changed, Denny has changed something basically from the same reasons that this writer said, that because he wrote the book 50 years ago and blah, 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 blah. And it was apparent that she didn't know what she was fucking talking about, because Um, she said she was the king's wife. Now, let me tell you something. She's not the king's wife. That's a big point in the book. She's the bound concubine of a duke, because the duke should be open to political marriage, to alliances. She's basically bought as a sex slave for him. And that's not the wife. That they fall in love and she gains great influence is another thing, and the duke really loves her. But she's not the wife of a king. There is no king in Dune. There are dukes and barons and then an emperor, but no kings. And Herbert makes a point out of her not being his wife. And the last thing, just a little thing, is Javier Bardem saying, I'm playing Stilgar, the leader of the Fremen. Stilgar is not the leader of the Fremen. He's the leader of one society of Fremen. The whole point Herbert is making is there are thousands of Fremen. There are hundreds of these sieges, and they each have a leader. And Stilgar is the leader of one of them. I don't know if they changed that in the movie to make him leader of all the sieges, just to make it more simple, but I think that would be stupid. People can cope with there being more than one city of Fremen, because in the book there are thousands. People just don't know. They are secret. So that was, the kind of iffy things I have with the movie. But other than that, I'm looking forward to this movie like nothing else. And I think I'm going to see it not just one time. Americans, I'm going to see it, I think, like 4 or 5 times before you even get the chance. I was surprised to learn that in Europe, because we don't have HBO Max, they do give the theaters this extra month before streaming. So I'm going tonight, the 15th of September, and it has official premiere tomorrow. It's this, I don't know why they always can show one show the night before the premiere, but I discovered that the day before yesterday when I was in to buy tickets. So, of course, I bought for that. I want to see it as fast as possible. And I will make a reaction video and a non-spoiler discussion afterwards. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I didn't piss anybody off by saying these things about wokeism. But think about it. You don't just jump to something that you thought without investigating that it's the right path. It's the right thing to do. Because if you do that, you're going to make catastrophe. You're going to make choices that will impact negatively on everything. For example, in Dune, the Fremen following Kain's dream. That dream will mean the end of their own culture. So they should have thought a little bit harder on it. And not just, oh, that sounds great. Let's say he's a holy man and he says this. Let's just jump on it. So in that way, the story is actually very applicable today. So now I'm going to take a nap because, as I said, I meet early at my workplace, and this movie ends at 10 o'clock in the evening, and I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I think I'll take a nap now. It's about 12 o'clock. It's noon. So that I'm not as tired when the movie is over. Okay, enjoy.